Well, Hanaki, did you know that our souls are connected by fate? What do you know? Yuno Hanaki from production Kawaii's Hanamizuki. Good evening. Hi. How are you guys holding up? Hi. Hope things are good. Hope things are good. Dying? Yeah, that's fair. Doing? That's fair. The saddest? I'll just take a running tally. Getting through it. Yeah, it sure is a Monday. Connected by fate because we're still waiting on the fiber optics? Yeah. Sorry, Onigashima is gonna take a really long time to discover fiber. Long weekend was nice, but almost over. That's true. I heard some places had a long weekend. Yeah, we're just trying to hold in there. We're just trying to vibe. That is all anyone can do in these trying times. Oh, Shinshiriki, thank you for becoming a member of Shadowfire. Sorry, my alert is covered by the rest of the Namarachi. How are you doing, little Oni? I'm doing as much as possible. You know. I had my Sad Girl Sunday, which ended up not really being restful, I suppose, because I did end up doing a little bit of work. I have like a whole laundry list of work that I have to do because, well, lots of projects, and also I'm traveling in like 2-ish weeks, assuming everything goes well. But we gotta see if things pan out the way that I want them to these next couple days, because there's a chance I won't be able to go. But that's probably a conversation I would save for members, or I don't know. We'll figure out if I'm going to talk about that in any more detail than that. But I am trying to prepare in the event I do get to go. So I've been like lining up things I have to do in terms of recording and writing and all of that fun stuff. I have so much to write these next couple weeks. I'm almost kind of bummed that I took away doing work streams, because there's just so much work I have to do that I don't know if I'm going to be able to really balance my time very effectively, but I'll do my best. As long as I feel like I'm getting enough done, it will be okay. But yeah, don't be surprised if I'm buried in the work trench most of the time and you don't hear from me much outside of streams. An excuse to bring them back? People don't particularly like them very much, from what I've noticed. Like, they're just kind of there. So, that was part of why I took them away. But yeah, I don't know. There's always a chance. I might do, like, guerrilla ones just to, like, hold myself more accountable. Just to see if I can get more work done that way. But, at the very least, I'm getting as much work done behind the scenes as I can, because I have a lot to do. But yeah, Ohanaki to you guys. Welcome to OniMon. This is, you know, the first, well, I guess I can't say the first stream post everything, because I technically was part of Hiyori and Kohaku's streams yesterday for Overwatch, but that was very last minute. But this is technically, like, my first, like, real stream since everything. So I'm trying to, like, wrap my brain around it still. I'm going to try to keep this stream mostly positive, though. Love impromptu collabs? Yeah! It was fun. I don't know if she mentioned it, but Koha, like, added me, and also Kaya in, like, a group chat and was like, Overwatch? And it was not long after Kaya had brought us into that group chat to be like, unite? I feel like I am trapped in a gamer circle. I am trapped in the gamer underworld. Help me. Please get me out of here. But no, it was fun. It was much better playing with them than what happened on the 31st, because on the 31st I tried to play solo queue by myself, and I was practicing DPS, and I got put into a group. This is me complaining about Overwatch. I'm sorry for those of you who don't even play, but I feel like if you've played any sort of like competitive like MOBA big group game like this, you can understand the feeling. But they kept shit talking me in the group chat. They were like shit talking my my skills like the whole match. The whole match. They were just like, "Are you a noob? Are you a noob? Are you a noob? Check out her kill rate. Haha. That is the lowest damage I've ever seen on a player. Haha. Literally the worst player I've ever seen. Haha." And I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna play Overwatch anymore. And like, I know I'm not good. That was the whole reason I was practicing. I don't even know what queue I ended up in for them to be complaining at me like that, but it was rough. Welcome to Overwatch. Yeah. No, this is the exact reason why I don't like playing these kinds of games. I really don't like it when people get toxic towards their own teammates. It's one thing if you're like playfully trash-talking the other team, but I don't see the point in like being shitty towards your teammates. The one that discouraged, just mute the chat. Yeah, I guess I should just mute the text chat. I have comms muted for a reason. There was another match that I had been in where they were like begging for me to get on voice comms so that they could yell at me, and I was like, no, I won't, thanks. I'm good, thank you. But I'm going to have to mute the actual chat. I wasn't used to it being like that bad. I was used to people just not even using it. So that was an interesting experience for sure. Bad players are the ones that trash talk the most. Are you glad Pokemon Unite doesn't have that option? So true. Plus with Pokemon Unite, so many of the players are kids. Don't be mean to the children. Pokemon overall is still a series that is aimed at kids. Don't yell at the children. I'm really glad that Nintendo has that, like, thing where you can only really use voice comms if you have the Nintendo app. Like I don't remember specifically what it's called, but like that Nintendo, I think it's the Nintendo Online app. That's the only way you can use voice comms in games like Unite and Splatoon and stuff. That's the only way. And I think that that's smart. I have all of that turned off anyway, though. You didn't know that you have to be pro level to not be yelled at? So true. I really didn't know what was happening there. It was just a really, like, bad match. And I was doing my best to, like, learn the characters that I was playing, and I just did terrible. Like, I was trying to learn Mei, because that was one of the characters I had initially been interested in learning. Mei was tough. I was not doing very good as her. So I switched to Ash, who is the one DPS that I was, like, kind of using a little bit, but I'm still not very competent as her. And then they got really mad at me for being a really bad Ash, too. I was like, I don't know what to do. The only other DPS character that I've played is freaking Echo, but I don't have her unlocked yet. In terms of, like, being able to play her in actual matches. I only played her in, like the range for, like, testing. No matter who you are in Overwatch, you'll get yelled at. I don't usually get yelled at when I play support, though. The best part of all of it was that even in that game where they were totally shitting on me for being bad, I still got a commendation, but I'm pretty sure that they did it to be sarcastic. Like, good job, newbie. Someone let their fucking 4-year-old play the video game. Which is true. Goo goo gaga or whatever. Don't mind those kinds of people. Oh, I never said I minded it. It just wasn't the kind of vibe that I wanted to be involved with when I was trying to play the game to unwind after everything that happened that day. So, you know, how many hours do you have on Overwatch? I think now, after I played with Hiyori and Kohaku, I'm at 20 or so. Roundabouts. A surprising amount for somebody who only started a few weeks ago. Don't look at me. Don't perceive, I'm looking away. If only there was a hero with keys. Is that not just Mercy? Mercy's just like, come on guys, come get your heals. Come get your healing. Hope we're doing alright today. I'm okay. I think in the grand scheme of things, it's like, you know, it's still a little bit rough out here. It's gonna be rough for a while, I think. But overall, I think I'm taking it rather well. And I think somebody said it before, but like just putting your nose to the grindstone and focusing on work is honestly a really good way to be distracted, I guess. At least for me, it's been. So I'm trying to get into the work zone and get more things done. Feel productive. It's what she would have wanted for me anyway. 20 hours total actual new player. I know, I'm literally a baby. You can beat us up? What do you mean? Why is it the first thing that you suggest? Oh no, you're sad you could beat us up. Like, what? What do they mean by this? You guys are silly. I saw a nice image the other day that goes, it will be okay, but it is going to be different. Yeah. That does about sum it up. I would agree with that sentiment, I think. Like I said, I think I am doing relatively okay. I feel like because it was a generally positive affair, I feel like it's a lot easier to, like, pick up the pieces, so to speak. Like, I'm still devastated, but it feels a lot easier to, like, compartmentalize it and, like, start moving forward. But don't be surprised if there are still moments of sad girl in, like, the coming however long. That is just something that will happen. It is inevitable. That is how it be. But, you know. We do our best. We ball. But speaking of... in the coming 50 years. Yeah, basically. It'll be a long time. I'm having sad girl hours too. Let's go! I love sad girl hours! The me in Hanamizuki stands for 3 in my headcanon. I like our me, though. Well, I mean, I guess that's better than what happened when management was setting up the premiere for Forever Bloom. I think I can say this, but I was double checking it because I had to make sure I had my stream set up to rate it properly, and I was checking the description and I saw that they spelled Hanamizuki wrong. They used the wrong kanji. And so I went and I told management and I was like, wrong me? And they were like, oh my god, I always thought that it was that. I Mandela affected myself into thinking that it was always spelled that way. They used the mi as in like mizu for people who actually know kanji, so they had it spelled like Hanamizuki. And I was like, wrong me? Silly. Hanamizuki. Yeah, basically. But yeah, apparently they just always thought it was spelled that way. And I was like, huh. Waterzuki. Yeah, flower, water, moon. That's us, apparently. Like, suddenly water's involved. Which is funny because Kaya can't swim. So it's just me being like, okay. Water zucchini? Yeah, that too. The new flower just dropped. Water zucchini. You can swim and Kaya can't? Yes. She cannot swim. She does not enjoy the water for this reason. I can't remember if she said that she could, like... No, she can dead man float. Like, she can float, but she can't actively swim. I can swim. Am I good at swimming? Not really, but I can at least swim, and I can, like, tread water, and I can, like, survive. I wouldn't call myself a pro swimmer, but I like swimming. You can survive? Yeah. Moon ninjas don't have to worry about water, but there's water on the moon's surface! What does she do? Just not go near it? That's crazy. But I guess gravity is different over there, so maybe she's never had to have this sensation of, like, swimming. Ohayo! Hanaki. Good morning, good morning. Kaya's life round. That's true. Since she could float, I could literally use her as a life preserve. Or like a boogie board or something. Like I just hold on to it and I kick my little feet as we get to shore. Crazy. Why on earth did they think it'd be Mizuki? I don't know. They just thought that that's how it was spelled, and they had just convinced themselves that that's how it was spelled this entire time. Granted, you know, whenever management talks to us, they write out Hanamizuki in English, even though we were the ones who told them we wanted it to be written in kanji. That's something that is like a pet peeve, I guess. I know there's not really a problem, necessarily, because I know in the end that people are talking about us. But we wanted our name to be recognized as kanji first. So whenever people, like, write out Hanamizuki as a gen and they just write it in the English, like with the capital H, I'm just like, no, that makes it look like no, it's not right. We wanted it to be kanji first. That's why the kanji take the bigger place in the logo, you know? If we wanted the kanji to not be recognized, it would be kind of like my personal logo, where, like, you know, it looks a bit different. So that's something that's kind of always bugged me. Like, I always style it as, like, with the kanji, and then I put, like, the Hanamizuki in, like, English with the tildes on either side of it. Like, that's just because that's how I've wanted it to be stylized. Most of us can't read kanji, but you'd get used to it after hearing Hanamizuki over and over, you know? But it's okay. Like I said, it's not a huge deal. It's just that I wish when people would, like, talk about the formatting of each gen, like, our kanji are important. We spend a lot of time figuring out those kanji. Like, we picked them out to, like, represent us, and we picked them out to, like, represent what we wanted the unit to represent. So every time people just kind of forget they exist, or, like, only use Hanamizuki in English, I'm just like, man. But that was something that, management talked to us about when we were first assigning the name too. They were like, do you want a kanji name? People might be more likely to remember, like, the English spelling. And we were like, but kanji would be pretty. Also, look at the aesthetic of our gen. It would be weird if it wasn't in kanji. Or if it wasn't, like, more Japanese sounding. So it was kind of something we felt like better suited our overall aesthetic and vibe, you know? So that was why it turned out the way that it did. But it's okay. It's a little bit of a bummer when I see other people list out Hanamizuki and they just only have the English there and they don't mention the kanji. Put both, if you can. Generation Hamburger Eagle. That's funny. I love that. Hanamizuki. Your design seems more Shansha inspired. Well, I think it's okay if I share the inspiration, maybe. I think we are farther enough along that I think I can share this without getting bonked necessarily, but I am based off of a very specific Japanese, or like older Japanese aesthetic concept that's like in the document for like the concept of Yuno Hanaki. I can't explicitly say it for multiple reasons, but there is very specific, like, Japanese history tied to how my design looks. The kawaii document. The deep Yuno lore. Yeah, the lore that was established before I manifested, you know? The sacred text. The two are quite similar in their styles. I mean, I guess that's fair. I think also part of it could be because my art mama is Korean. So there might have been some, like, influences that came from other places just in general from my mama being Korean. But no, I've actually... I guess, like, your hint for what I'm talking about is, I've gotten art in this style before. Or, like, art that, like, more explicitly mentions the aesthetic, the vibe. If you know, you know. Think I know which art you mean? Yeah, that one. But I'm not allowed to be, like, explicit about it. For reasons. Does not know. It's okay, it's okay. But yeah, who knows, maybe I will make that a member-exclusive piece of information, but, all of that said, it is supposed to be Japanese aesthetic. I can understand the confusion with, like, some aspects of the design, though. Like, yeah. Anyway. We were supposed to be a very, like, specific aesthetic, generation. Specific themed unit. And I do still fit that theme. It's just that, you know, since I can't be direct about the inspo, I can't confirm it in the ways that I would wish to. I can only focus on the Oni part, so I'm just like, you know, Onis are Japanese. Even though the only thing that's really Oni about me is my horns. I didn't particularly get a lot of Oni aesthetics. Thus half. Love the theme a lot. I do too. I like it. Our Oni is just too cute. Stop. Stop it. The horns is just a headband. No, they're real horns. You're Oni in our hearts. I am Oni, period. Yeah, the one and Oni. So true. It would be fun to have a more Oni, you know? I've debated it. I wouldn't know how to incorporate it in my design while still staying, like, cute, though. And there's, like, certain aspects that I just wouldn't want to add. So I'm not really sure about all that. Gremlin Oni. Tusks? Yeah, see, but that's the thing I don't want. This is controversial, but I don't really care for, like, fangs or, like, sharp teeth. Like, that's not really an aesthetic that I like in anime girls. I get it. I understand why people do like it. It's just not my thing. Just a big club would be pretty cool. Maybe. Sharp nails. Well, I do have a little bit of art where I have more Oni-like nails. I think the Oni-like nails are kind of cool. But I wouldn't use a club as my weapon. I've already established that I use the Tessen or the Battle Fan as my weapon. I don't want to do a weapon switch. Plus, like, that would mean I'd have to be in a certain pose forever, and that would make my arm hurt, you know? An Oni mask? That's also true. I would love to have an Oni mask. I love masks. You know, showing up to stream with this emoji for a model. So true. I'm just like, people have been telling me that I am not Oni enough. I am here to prove them wrong. One for close combat, one for ranged. Not the weapon switching. Asking a dex build to be switched to strength. Exactly! I am built for... Well, I don't even know if I'm built for dex, to be honest. Alt is going full Oni. That's true. I go from being support to being tank just by nature of using my ult. Different colored sclera. Oh, maybe. You know, seems to be built for intelligence. This is true. Charisma and wisdom. I don't know about charisma. I think my charisma would be a little bit lower than my wisdom. I think Kaya has a slightly higher charisma stat than me. Don't need a club for close range. Use the Geta. Not the Geta. That's also technically long range because you can throw it. Hold on, let me put Slack on and not disturb. Otherwise, you'll be hearing the pings for forever. Honk shoot time. Being engulfed in green flames that form a huge green Oni. Green. Green. Man, that's true though. I think you underestimate your charisma stat. And no, I'm pretty sure that my charisma stat wouldn't be that great. But, you know. Kaya's charisma is 10. Every other stat is always random. She rolls a dice and that determines what her strongest stat is that day. She has to roll it every day. I always picture you with a Naginata. Oh, I think we've had this conversation before, actually. And I do really like the Naginata as a weapon. Wiggles add plus 20. I don't know if you can add plus 20 as a modifier, but I appreciate the thought. You are an Oni, you only have less fangs, less clubs, less tiger, keep close, less red skin. Wait. You're making me sound less and less like an Oni the more you list. 20 charisma is godlike status. That actually sounds about right. Man, you guys are silly. Add Oni at the end of your sentences. Making that a sentence ender? That sounds so silly. Most Oni aren't cute like you. You take that back. Oni are very cute. Sure, a lot of them are like super tall and super buff and sometimes can be a little bit scary, but they could also be cute. There's Gap Moe. I did a whole presentation on that. Gap Moe exists. And the Oni have it. Probably more so than I do. My Gap Moe goes in the reverse direction. I appear cute, but in actuality, I am whatever this is. Have we ever actually seen you go poof from having beans thrown at you? Well, you know. You appear cute, but are actually even cuter. Stop! Stop it! No! Explodes. Thanks, though. Something that took me out, by the way, was at the end of the Overwatch collab where Hiyori just randomly stopped and complimented my giggle. Now every time I giggle, I'm just like, oh no. I'm getting self-conscious! Embarrassing! Why are my kohai rizzing me? Embarrassing. That was crazy. You're supposed to be cute, it's in the company name? Yeah, I'm supposed to, but yet somehow I'm here. Explain how that works. You need Riz trading? What do you mean, Riz trading? I'm fine. I'm fine the way that I am. You know, actually switch weakness from beans to compliments. No, both are pretty strong weaknesses. Those are both, type disadvantages that I have. This is true. They know cuteness when they see it. Debatable. Not the beans! My nightmare is I'm going to have to eventually, like, during the 1 year, we're probably going to have to at least touch on our debuts, and I'm going to have to see all of the bean jokes again. And if there's one thing I remember from the blur that was my debut stream, was seeing the flood of bean emojis. Specifically, the flood of bean emojis from my own managers! Management was throwing beans at me! What the actual frick? If you look back in the chat, you can see County and Footy throwing beans at me, and that's messed up. That is messed up. Can you believe that they threw beans at their own talent? Did they not know? They should know. Why did they not know? That's crazy. So checking that out later. Bean coated, not coated. I think they know, and that's why they wanted to get rid of me from the very beginning. It was a conspiracy from square one. I can't believe this. It was rigged from the start. What is the bean lore? So, Oni... So there's a specific holiday in Japan known as Setsubun, which is on February 3rd, which also happens to be my birthday. Haha, crazy. But, Setsubun is a holiday where, it is believed that the best way to banish, like, Oni... Because Oni are perceived to represent, like, bad things, bad vibes. If you let an Oni into your house, that leads to, like, bad luck and things like that. So in order to banish any of the Oni that could be lingering upon your property or within your home, you take white soybeans and you throw them kind of, like, outside, mostly, or depending on the place that you're in, people will dress up as Oni and you can, like, throw your soybeans at them and be like, "Be gone, Oni! Welcome in, good vibes only!" You basically, like, pelt people with beans to get them to leave, to, like, represent banishing the Oni. So, you know, as an Oni, if you throw beans at me, that technically is a way to banish me. And I do not want to be banished, but, you know, the people think otherwise, and they are like, time to throw beans at this creature. My experience with Oni has been very positive and uplifting, so I think they are kind of nice. Exactly! Not every Oni represents bad vibes, you know? Some Oni represent good vibes. What if we make a bean circle around you? It's like if you build a tower of soda cans around a Shih Tzu, like a Shih Tzu puppy, where, like, they get confused and they don't know where to go because they don't understand that it's just cans and you can walk through it. That's me if you build, like, a circle of beans around me. I wouldn't know what to do because I wouldn't be able to go past the beans. Can we force you to follow a path if we make it out of beans? You could definitely keep me trapped on a path if you put beans on either side. Because I wouldn't want to go past it. I'd be scared. The overall aura of the white soybeans would scare me. I can't do it. Critical information. I don't like this. I don't like how your first thought is, can we keep you trapped on a specific path? Where do you want me to go? Just tell me to go somewhere and you can do it without having to trap me in beans! Yuno versus the bean circle. The bean circle would win. Uno just sees the menacing kanji floating above white soybeans. That's actually katakana, but it would be the go 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 go. And I would just be like, interesting. I suddenly can't go that way. That's so crazy. Wow. Oh, wow. I'm gonna turn around and go the opposite direction. Avoiding beans. Since Oni can't cross beans and vampires can't cross running water, if we made a river out of coffee, neither of them would be able to pass it. No! Yeah, that's messed up, actually. Does it work with black beans or only soybeans? Well, I just generally don't like any beans because of my association with soybeans. I think soybeans are the ones that actually hurt, though. I think all the other beans wouldn't necessarily hurt. They're just gross and I don't like them. So I don't think you'd necessarily be able to hurt me with any other kind of bean. I don't think. I wouldn't know, though. I just do my best to avoid most beans. Do beans work on Reina, too? I need to protect my fridge. Unfortunately, no. Reina is a more Western demon, and those do not have the same limitations in terms of bean. Bean debuff. Wouldn't the beans have to be intact for it to repel, or does bean dust work? I don't know. Never really thought about having bean dust thrown at me. Farina just put wallpaper, she gets stuck on the wall. It's like fly paper. Like, you make it smell like one of her favorite foods so that she's compelled to go towards it and then she gets stuck. That's silly. Instead of Yuno Beam, it's Yuno Bean. So, well, that implies I'm firing beans, is the problem. Because, like, a Yuno Beam is like a beam that I would fire. Yuno Bean would then imply that I am throwing beans, which I cannot do. For if I touch the bean, I don't know, my hand would burn or something? I haven't thought that far. Sounds like we were coming up with countermeasures against kawaii girls in case they go evil. Well, I'm sure you guys would be able to do that. You know a lot of the things that the girls dislike. You just gotta bring up one of their dislikes and they'll be like, ah! And they'll explode, probably. If you fired a Yuno beam, would it come from your eyes or horns? Probably my eyes. My eyes are quite unique for a reason, you know? I feel like most of my power probably comes from there. Water is a strong option. VTuber company entirely weak to water. These girls can and will drown. You know it is beans and seafood. Yes, that is true. Those are the two things I hate the most. Everything else I could probably tolerate it in small enough batches that I'd be fine, but definitely hate those. Math is a weakness for the majority of kawaii, except for me and Shiicho. Shiicho's better at math than me, but I can handle a fair amount of math. Relative amount of math. After all, I was a crazy person and I took 2 math classes simultaneously in school once. Because I'm crazy! And I liked math! Oh yeah, what's 2 plus 2? 4! A shrimp burrito is the strongest hero repellent. Yeah, gross. Hate that. Don't like that concept at all. The numbers! What do they mean? Quick maths. Very true. Doesn't counter she, but her weakness is having no powers, so build a coffee moat, then lock the door with an equation pad. Nothing against she, but compared to how silly of a little lady she is, I'm always baffled by the compliments people have to her intelligence. Well, you know how there's a difference between book smarts and street smarts? I think that some people just have, like, really good, like, basic knowledge, and then there's just a lack of street smarts. Or there's just, like, you know, there's things that happen that make it so you just can't be as intelligent in other areas. And again, no shade against the people that are like this, but life has a way of balancing things out. Because I'm like this too. I have moments of being very smart, and then I'm also very dumb in certain other areas. You guys know this about me too. Serious question, is Shrek an Oni? Technically, yes. Technically, the translation for Oni is ogre. So by all accounts, Shrek is technically an Oni. But also, he's different from, like, the Japanese standard of an ogre. He's more of, like, a Western ogre, which is kind of, like, more tied to, like, orcs. Like, orc-adjacent, kinda. Yeah. Because Shrek doesn't really have horns, you know? He has those, like, ears that stick out from the sides. Don't look at my headdress. Survival smarts is also another big subcategory that a lot of people fail terribly in. This is true. Real life skills are sometimes hard for a lot of people to know. You and Shrek share colors. That was one of the first things that Kaya Nishikino ever told me. It was one of the first things she ever told me was that she said when she was in her interview and saw the models and she heard that the green girl was meant to be an Oni, she was just like, oh, so that's Shrek. Oh, so that's literally Shrek. So then when we met, she was like, hi, when I first saw you, my first thought was that you are Shrek. And I was like, thanks? I think? The irony, though, is that before she ever pointed that out to me, I had low-key been considering, like, I had been considering names before this, right? And I had been, like, low-key considering that, I was gonna choose the name Fiona if I was gonna go for an English name. I was between two names, right? I was between... Because, like, this was management's idea. Because at first they were like, I think it would be cute if you had, like, an English name, maybe. So I was thinking about English names. And the two that I was deciding between were Belle, like, because of the bellflower, and Fiona. But then the minute that Kaya made the Shrek comparison, I was like, maybe I shouldn't be Fiona. Maybe I should not. Such is life, such is life, such is life. To be fair, you do look like a Fiona. Thanks, I think. 4 kids tier names. Well, hey, don't call them 4 kids tier. Management's suggestion was Belle. They were like, Belle-chan. And I had been thinking Fiona. Fiona was my doing. Fiona would have been my demise. But no, we had a separate discussion and then decided on, like, other names. Obviously. Bella's kind of cute. Yeah, they thought that Belle would have been a cute name. It probably would have been spelled like this, like with just the one L, if I had gone with it. At least that's how I would have wanted to stylize it. There is a universe where I would have been Hanaki Bell. Hanaki Bell. Which I guess is kind of cute. But also, the reason I stepped away from Bell is because I realized it's a bit too similar to Suzu. And Suzu, means Bell. So I would have sounded like, I would have been, like, name siblings with Charlotte. In another universe, though, maybe. But no, I agree. I also like Yuno a lot better. I think I've said this before, but initially it was gonna be Yunon, which is, like, slightly different. It was gonna have an N at the end. Yunon. but they thought that that might be hard for people to pronounce, so it became Yuno instead. We dropped the last N. There's also a universe where you were Fiona, and that is dealing psychic damage. How do you think I feel? That would have been crazy psychic damage. Did you arrive because you heard the chime of the bell? No, that's actually kind of cute. Dang. This alternate universe version of me sounds way more cute than the one that we have. That's cute. This one is best, I'll fight you. Well, you only say that because you exist within this universe. What if you met her, huh? What if you met her and she was cuter? That's crazy. Name yourself Kane for Belle? Well, then I could have made jokes about, the song Ring a Bell from Tales of Vesperia, which would have made me a little bit happy. Only a little bit, but I also don't know if Kane would have really worked as a name. Numero Yuno? Okay, I like that. I do think that there are more jokes that can be made with Yuno than with Belle or Fiona, to be honest. I think, because some of the other girls have talked about this before, right? I think we were the first group that didn't have, like, pre-selected names. Because, like, Ionia and Novamore both had pre-selected names, right? They've talked about those before, right? I believe so. I know at the very least, Ionia must have talked about it because they kept theirs, but I think Novamore had default names, but, like, switched them. But we were the first ones that didn't have, like, set names at all. Like, we got to fully choose from scratch. She said hers wasn't selected? Oh. Only Aonia had pre-selected names? Well, what I'm trying to say is Aonia didn't have a choice. This is correct. But Novamore had pre-chosen names, but then they could choose something else if they didn't like the pre-selected one. But I think Hanamizuki was the first group that didn't have any sort of pre-selected name. I think, because we didn't have any ideas when we went into my meeting to discuss it. Yeah. Yeah, we were the first where we got to, like, fully decide it, I think. And then, I don't know if Amira had any pre-decided names. I think, actually, a couple of them did. I don't know if any of them kept it, though. I feel like we talked about this recently, but I can't remember. Probably not my place to share either way. But no, in the end, I think that being Yuno Hanaki was the best choice for me. I like it. It has ingrained itself in my brain now, so if I tried to switch to something else, I wouldn't know what to do. If your name was Belle, we could have been the Bell Boys. Oh, that would have been cute. Bell Boys, Bell Ringers, Bell Evers. Could have been funny. Bell Hops. That's cute. Gender neutral. The Princess of Bel Air, please. Poor little out for missed opportunities. So glad we got this one, though. Bell Evers. Yeah, Bell Evers would have been so cute. It's okay. Like I said, I still think that we are in the universe that makes the most sense for me. But who knows what could have been. We'll never know. Would have required a Bells in Notre Dame cover. That would have been... I mean, that's a good song. Man, Disney covers win. We have players like Oni, stop. Onions. One day, Kawaii will have a Gen 7 member named Belle, and she is frantically taking notes from this stream. Belle-chan! I love that for her, but also, I still think that there would be a bit of overlap between Belle and Suzu, so maybe not. Dominachi, our cute mascot, would we have been a Belle mascot instead? Probably. You probably would have been Belle-shaped. You know those, like, handheld bells that, like, carolers sometimes use when they go caroling? I guess it would look like that, but maybe with a bit more of a Japanese aesthetic touch. And I guess I probably would have leaned into more of, like, a Shrine Miko vibe if I did that. Like an Oni Shrine Maiden. We're developing a new character. We're developing an alternate universe Yuno Hanaki. We are truly developing a new Yuno for the universe. Fun fact, I was in a handbell group in middle school. That's so sick. I've always kind of liked those sorts of percussion-y instrument groups. I like that. Yeah, probably like one of those. That would have been a really cute concept for the alternate universe Domodachi. You guys would be like the wind chime, the lantern-looking wind chimes. Cute. Imagine if management is taking notes on this right now. I don't think they would ever come to the talents when it comes to figuring out designs for future gens. I don't think that would ever happen. Would be cool, but I don't think it would ever happen. This would make a very interesting fanfiction. Can we do a stream where we actually flesh this out? Oh, maybe. If you guys are interested in developing characters for the universe. We could do, like, universe-dedicated streams. That could be silly. Alternate universe Unos will be put in your tag. Sure, we'll have to make a tag for the universe, too, so that way we can get, like, fanfic and art. That could be fun. Future Chen's confirmed. No. Stop putting words in my mouth. I'm just saying if. Universe OCs do not steal. True. But yeah, I'll note this down. Maybe we will have a stream like that in the future. I have streams picked out, obviously, for this week and next. And then the week after that is my break. But maybe when I come back from break, we can do a stream about it. A month's gonna go by so fast because of that week-long break. Holy shit. Sorry. I'm just thinking about the passage of time again, because such is my life. I'm gone literally for, like, the whole 3rd week of September, and then I'm gonna come back and it's the end of September, and then it's gonna be October. Am I crazy for taking a break in this month? I think I'm crazy. I think I might be crazy. That's crazy. Crazy, but you need to take the break. No, I agree. I also need the break. I've been feeling on the edge of burnout for like a month or two. I know if I don't take the break this month, I will explode. So it'll be good to have the break. And I will be sure to actually rest. Although you guys aren't necessarily going to get to rest because I have uploads scheduled for like every day of my break. Every day of my break, you're going to get something. So, enjoy the food. But also, I'm cranking it out desperately this weekend next. I've seen your cover output this month. You've clearly been busy. Yeah, those were things that have been in the works for like a few months. And then everything needed to be rushed out for August. And then... I mean, there's still going to be, like, stuff releasing this month, but probably less so on the cover front. Although we are kind of pivoting for, shorts, which I've said before. For covers, I mean. But you're getting, like, long-form videos while I'm on my break. Things that I owe you from the past, and I'm sure you remember if you paid attention to the Donathon rewards. But yes, you will not run out of Unonium. We're talking to Buno's double. She's on another PC still cooking. I wish I had a second PC. I wish I could split and have like a clone of myself to do all of my work. That would be very nice. But alas. It's okay though. I have said it before, I will say it 1,000 times. Even if I complain about the amount of offline work that I have, I am still very, very happy with what I am doing. Why have I been talking for over an hour and I have not once discussed the point of this stream? Let's have a very quick tangent about PowerPoint parties, and then we can just go back to yapping about whatever, I guess. Management's going to choose to look at this stream and they're going to be like, why did you never get to the point? I thought it was a Zatsu. Technically it is, but I am supposed to have a topic. That's the point of this. Where are your PowerPoint slides? Anyway, so... Imagine having a topic in Onimon. Well, unfortunately, that's one of the main reasons that I have this as a series, is because it's supposed to be a themed, weekly Zatsu stream, so it's not just a random Zatsu. It is what it is. Anyways, good talk, everybody. So, PowerPoint parties. I don't know if you guys have seen them as much as I have. I get them recommended to me all the time on Twitter. Specifically on my For You page. It goes crazy. Presentation without a PowerPoint looking at the rubric as you speak. No! Why are you braiding me? I, like, never have presentations for Onimon. What are you talking about? What is this rubric? That's messed up. Anyway. So, PowerPoint party. I looked it up, and it seems that, they started during the time of the Panini in, like, 2019, 2020 or so. Basically, for those of you who don't actually know what a PowerPoint party even is, it's basically there is someone who hosts the party, and they can either decide for a specific theme, or they can just tell people to make a PowerPoint on whatever topic that they want, and then they have to give a presentation on it at the party. And the whole party is just dedicated to, like, watching everybody else's PowerPoint presentations and, you know, asking questions, discussing whatever point the presenter wanted to bring up. And they get, like, silly. The reason that I always get them on my For You page, I guess, is because a lot of the time it's like, I asked my friends to make a presentation about whatever they wanted, and their presentations went crazy. And then it's like a thread of all of the weird, spicy takes that people had. Like, it could be things that are, like, super serious, which is, like, the importance of voting, or, like, things of that nature. But then you can also get more silly stuff that's, like, top 10, guys with, peak anime muscles. Or something like that. Isn't there a Jackbox game like this? It's similar. The game that you're thinking of is another variant of the PowerPoint party, where you give a presentation without ever seeing the actual PowerPoint that you're using. The modern version of seeing vacation pictures in a projector. No, that would be if you were telling a story. like, you're actually using PowerPoint to give, like, a presentation like you would for, like, a class or for, like, a work thing, like a work meeting, but you're talking about something goofy. Yeah. Top 10 uses for beans. Blue is just another shade of purple. Water is not wet. Things like that. Like, things that are meant to be kind of, like, silly, and then you have, like, really stupid arguments about it. Water is not wet because, wet is a sensation of touch and not, like, you know, a state of being. But then someone could be like, but it is a state of being. What do you call a wet dog? That dog is currently actively being wet. You know, that kind of thing. The example in my thumbnail is one that I could use, which is Tales of Legendia should get a remake, not just a remaster. And then it would be me giving a presentation that's like, Tales of Legendia has been neglected by Bandai Namco for way too long. They were one of the first games that came out for the PS2, and unlike its other counterpart, which was Tales of the Abyss, which managed to get a remaster for the Nintendo 3DS, Tales of Legendia never got anything. They received diddly zitch nada, and I think that's messed up. You know? So the idea is supposed to be that you say things that are like, you can either have it be close to being true, or you can have it be just completely, like, off-the-wall bonkers, or, like, completely, like, subjective opinion. Like, one of the threads that I saw, there was an example where someone, like, took everybody's favorite anime character, compiled them, and was like, why your favorite anime character has red flags. And then it was, like, specifically calling out her friends' taste and being like, this is the kind of red flags that you see whenever you go to date a guy. Like, that same taste is reflected in your taste in anime, men, and I'm going to expose you for this. Your waifu sucks. Yeah, basically, that could be another example of a jokey one. A PowerPoint presentation aimed at being fun. It started during the pandemic because you could use, like, Zoom and things like that to, like, remotely present a PowerPoint. So whenever people were having get-togethers with, like, friends or family, they would just, like, host these PowerPoint parties where they would, like, give silly presentations. And, you know, Zoom also has that feature where you can, like, raise your hand during a presentation and get called on so that you can ask a question and things like that. Nowadays, though, as the Panini has eased up, for lack of a better term, people have started having them in person, so everyone will just come up and take turns using, like, an actual, like, presentation projector thingy to give their presentation, and they'll, like, dress up and pretend like they're giving, like, an actual presentation at a business meeting. It's very funny. But that's kind of what a PowerPoint party is. Like, the host will also provide, like, snacks and drinks, and everybody can just kind of hang out and shoot the shit while listening to silly presentations. Or serious ones. Whatever the presenter wants to do, because the point is that it's not prepared at all. Well, not prepared is the wrong word, but, like, nobody knows what everyone else's presentation is going to be. They only know what theirs is. So you have no idea what they're going to say until they go up there. You could think that it's going to be the most serious presentation ever, and that it's just, like, why we should only wear mismatched socks and not even bother with pairing socks together. So it just became very silly. But there is a variant of the PowerPoint party where, the host could be the one to assign a topic to you, and then you have to just make a topic and either do research or don't do research and just wing it. Or there's a version where you just make a random presentation about whatever you want, and then somebody else has to present your PowerPoint without knowing what your point is or what your slides are. That's similar to the Jackbox game that was brought up before, where, like, somebody else picks all of it for you. And then you just have to do your best to give a presentation. Why is trains would be me? I love that. Why is trains? I want to know. Just hearing that that would be your topic is already, I'm just like, you know what? Why is trains? True. Tell me you're a VTuber fan without saying it. Miss my socks. No! Stop! I didn't say asymmetrical socks. I said mismatched. That's not the same thing. Why do they call it oven when you of in the cold food of out hot eat the food? Yeah, that too. Why does stretching feel good? That's also a good one. I like that. Because then you could either choose to go very scientific with it and explain, like, the release of chemicals that happens when you stretch and, like, whether it releases, like, endorphins or, like, serotonin or whatever. Or you could just be like, crack noise make me happy. I'm happy when back crack. But that's why they are fun. There's, like, lots of really silly ones that go, viral. Like, people will post whole threads of the things that their friends present during their PowerPoint parties. There's also, like, it's become so popular that there's, like, even other examples of, like, media that have taken it and, like, turned it into, I don't want to call it, like, a show, because it's not quite the right word, but if you are familiar with the platform Dropout TV, Dropout has actually made a show around this kind of concept, which is called Smarty Pants. And basically, they act like they are a society of high-class intellectuals, and everybody just gives a presentation on a topic that they chose. And then they treat it like a serious debate, while also being very silly. I say ow when the crack happens despite it not hurting. True. Why do we reflexively say ow when things don't hurt? Never heard of that? Sounds neat. Members watch along idea. I'm joking, I'm joking. You guys would have to get a subscription to drop out if we wanted to watch that. Actually, maybe we wouldn't. I think they actually posted episode 1 for free on YouTube. We might be able to actually watch episode 1. Pause? Do not tempt me with a good time. I really like the show. It's very silly. Can we get a members PowerPoint party? I would have to figure out the logistics of that. Because I wouldn't be sure how to, like, get you guys to present your PowerPoints effectively. Otherwise, what would have to happen is I get sent your PowerPoints, and then I present them for you. Which could be silly also. Because you could make me present a PowerPoint on, like, the wildest thing ever. And I have to try and sell your argument. I wouldn't know how else to do that. Like, if I wanted to have you guys present it. I'll have to think about it. What the Hanaki doing? Right now the Hanaki is talking about PowerPoint parties. But oh, Hanaki, hope you're doing well. Or I give you the script for the PowerPoint? Oh, that's true too. You could give me the link to the PowerPoint itself, and then the script, and then I just present it for you. But don't you think it would be funny if I tried to improv it based on the slides that you gave me? Even if the slides were incredibly outlandish and goofy? A real test of my improv skills, for sure. The only reason that would be rough is because last time I tried to do improv during one of those presentation games, everybody booed me. Because I said I didn't want anybody to eat seafood. I got booed. I did what I had to do to make my point. Deserved? No! Don't throw tomatoes at me, tomato thrower! The only point with you is your horns. What the heck? I can make points. I'm good at debating. My food delivery driver delivered to the wrong address. No, I hate when that happens. That's messed up. Go ahead, point, I dare you. No! I can't finger point. I can't lift my hands. But I can make verbal points in an argument. So there. No point toggle. Yeah, no point toggle, unfortunately. Take this PNG. That is not a PNG. That is literally not a PNG. Your little raspberry is always so cute. No, no, you. My hands were reached by bean toast once. Suddenly I have an actual debuff. Take this J5, not the J5. Why do they keep inventing all of these useless file formats? What are J5s even used for? I mean, I'm guessing it's a way to, like, reduce data consumption or whatever. I guess. That seems to be the reasoning for most things. The ultimate punishment, take this WebP. Not WebP! Well, at least WebP is starting to be read a little bit more by, like, more things, more programs. J5, though. What the frick? But anyway, yeah, that's what a PowerPoint party is. So you can hold them remotely, you can also, do it IRL. It's fun. Like, if you want an excuse to just hear, like, the silly thoughts that your friends have, like, the weird hills that they want to die on, it's a really fun concept. And Smarty Pants, turning it into, like, an actual show was also quite funny. Granted, all of them are, like, actual comedians, too, so they were really good at just making their points funny. Though some of them did have more serious arguments, too. I'm trying to think of topics that I really liked there, but there was, what was it? How to write, emails like a Karen. There was one that was, like, focusing on, like, the peak of, like, a roller coaster hill, and, like, the importance of, like, balancing the amount of hills on a roller coaster for, like, the roller coaster experience. I resonated with that one because I like roller coasters. But no, there was some fun presentations there. I liked them for sure. It's a good show. If you have a Dropout subscription, definitely check it out. It's good. I like is good. Why VTubers should run for office? That would be Charlotte Suzu's specifically, but true. I want to make my own one of these. Yeah! That was the goal. PowerPoint parties are awesome. I've never been invited to one. I don't know what my argument would be. Besides Legendia, I guess. But how do I get a bunch of people who don't know anything about Tales to care about Legendia? That would be a interesting task to take on, I suppose. Why Yuno is green and not purple? False! False! Veto! Get him off the stage! Boo! Boo! I'm like the only person asking you to go off stage while everyone else is just like, no, he's right, don't silence him! And I'm just like, no! Stop! If your company made so much of a presentation. I was wondering if anybody in Kawaii would ever want to do a PowerPoint party with me, because I think that could be a really funny stream. I think that could be really funny, to be honest with you. I'd have to figure out the logistics of it. I guess we would just, like, screen share over Discord or something, but that could be really funny. I think that could be really funny. You can present over Google Docs. No, that's true. We would probably have to do, like, Google Slides or something instead of, like, actual PowerPoint. PowerPoint party with the girls sounds like it would be easier and more potential fun than doing it with viewers. I think there was another VTuber who recently did a PowerPoint party. I don't remember who it was, but I want to look. I want to check their stream maybe and see how they did it, so I can figure out how I would do it on my end. But no, I think some of the kawaii girls would have some very interesting opinions that they would share in a PowerPoint party, and I have to know. I have to know what they would talk to us about. And I think I would allow both the other girls that were participating and also chat to ask questions. Like, I would probably serve as the voice of chat and maybe ask like one or two of my own questions. But I think I would just I wouldn't have my own presentation. I think I would just let everybody else present, and then I would serve as the voice of chat and like the moderator, like directing who goes up when. But that could be very fun, I think. Yeah, some of them would go crazy. I think that could be a fun, like, semi-annual event or something. Like, it happens a couple times a year to account for people who can't always make it to the first one, you know? That'd be so funny. Sorry, I'm laughing about it still. There's so much potential for silly. I would have to know what everybody would do. You know, Charlotte would drop a nuclear presentation. I know, and I would have to contain my bias for the president. Because that's the problem. I would be biased towards the president's thoughts. I'd be like, yes, ma'am. Anything you say. So true. Factual information. Biannual Family Feud PowerPoint. That's true. The new theme is not just a game show, but it's game show and then also PowerPoint party. So sick. Yeah, maybe I will have to plan this out. I really have to find that stream. I think somebody did it as part of like a birthday series of streams, which is why I can't entirely remember it. Who did it? I have to look this up now. App ending VTuber, so that I make sure I can remember. Well, Dial from Pixel Link did a stream where 4 of them presented PowerPoints. I guess that counts as a PowerPoint party. Oh, it was this one I was thinking of. Utahime Mochizuki. That was who did it. Okay. Imagine one making a serious PowerPoint about ways to improve production kawaii. Hey, that'd still be pretty sick. The option's there. You can either be serious or you can be silly. Whatever makes you happy. What the cute Yuno doing? I am looking at PowerPoint party streams so that I can gather references to watch later. I definitely can't plan this anytime soon because I'm going to be so busy, but I will work on this. This is going to be something I keep in mind. Okay. Heck yeah. So sick. Alrighty. But yeah, that's basically what a PowerPoint party is. I did like a little bit of research and like saw that it started because of the Panini, and that like it's like somewhat branched out. But I also wanted an excuse to talk about how it became so popular that Smarty Pants literally made it like a show format. I saw a PowerPoint where they tried to convince the chat of Ramatra's sex appeal. Not Ramatra! I love that for them, though. Speak your truth. I may not agree with you, but speak your truth. Understandable. But no, I would love to see what the other girls would come up with. Or like if I asked people outside of kawaii too, it would be really funny to see what they came up with as well. I'll do an interest check maybe in the next like week or so, see how many people are actually interested, and then try and gather people together. Maybe it'll be something we do in October, or maybe not October. October is gonna be so busy. Maybe November. It gives me more time to plan. Explodes. I'm sure you would get at least 2 streams worth of interest. That would be so cool, if possible. I will definitely be trying to get a setup of interest, at the very least. It would be so silly. It'll mostly be for me. I'll literally just be hosting the stream so that you guys can enjoy it alongside me. I will be participating as the audience with you, just being like, man, this is such a good presentation. Why it's never too early for Christmas in December? Interesting. You'll be busy all the rest of the year. Don't say that. I don't want to be busy the rest of the year. You know, in chat. Good collab, good collab. I'll be there first in line, day 1 pre-release. Aww. Yours, Exo. But no, it'd be so silly. I, for one, would love to see it. Okay, we did it! Mandatory discussion of PowerPoint parties. Closed up. Yippee! Shiicho, how to decorate your Christmas tree for Halloween to save time. Wait, that would be a banger presentation. I would love to know about this. The answer can't just be Nightmare Before Christmas decorations. The ultimate idea why you should have a PowerPoint party? Oh no. We're getting meta with it, huh? Now, in order to understand the importance of having a PowerPoint party, we need to understand the definition of what a PowerPoint party is. And to do that, I would like you to look at this PowerPoint about the definition of a PowerPoint party that I am presenting during a PowerPoint party. As everybody is just like, oh my god, get on with it! Please! As a PowerPoint, yeah, exactly. The whole stream is actually just in PowerPoint format. I'm not even using my normal, like, OBS setup. I just make it look exactly like a PowerPoint. Actually, one of the things I wanted to point out that I noticed in my research was that Microsoft themselves acknowledged PowerPoint parties, and they were, like, giving tips to people, like, using PowerPoint so they could make their slideshows more, like, engaging and silly. Like, they were like, use things like our included transition packs and, like, effects on your images and text to make them appear on and off screen in wacky ways. And I was just like, that's really cute. Like, they offered tips specifically for people who are hosting PowerPoint parties and people wanting tips to, like, make their PowerPoints more fun and silly. I thought that was cute. I'm not usually for corporations trying to do, like, little human-like things like that, but I did think the tips were cute. Do it on Google Docs. Is everyone like a VTuber who doesn't have a YouTube? I mean, hey, Google Docs has a lot of similar features to PowerPoint. And in part of my research, a lot of people were, like, not using PowerPoint. They were using things like Prezi, Google Slides. There's, like, other examples that I can't think of right now. But there have been examples where they don't necessarily use PowerPoint itself. It's more just the idea of a presentation. The benefit of Google Docs and Slides is for group projects. This is true. And like you guys were saying, it would definitely help to, like, illustrate, or not illustrate, but, like, having everybody maybe have their slides on, like, the same, like, big group Google slide might potentially make it a lot easier to keep track of everyone's presentations. Like, at least for me, if I was going to show everyone's presentations on screen, the girls could be like, next slide, you know, and then I could, like, scroll to the next slide for them so that they could start presenting. So that could actually be the way that I would do it if I was going to host it. So we wouldn't necessarily have to worry about, like, the struggle of getting everyone to screen share. A classic next slide, please. Yeah! Yeah, you get it, you get it. It could work. It could work, it could work. I could see that. But no, I really do think it could be fun. Where's your PowerPoint? I don't have one right now. I don't have one offhand right now. The only one I have is my draft for my Cupid Parasite presentation. Which I'm not doing yet, I'm doing it next week. A PowerPoint on how to make a PowerPoint for the party. True. Why are you grading me on a rubric? I'm gonna take that rubric out of your hands and rip it up into little pieces. Do not grade me. This isn't for a grade. Buno is the PowerPoint, yeah. In case you haven't noticed, my whole body is a green screen, so, I am the PowerPoint. Disorderly conduct during presentation? Whatever, you're disorderly. I never learned what a rubric is. A rubric is like a scoring system. What do you mean they never taught you in school? That's literally what they use to score, like, essays and stuff. A rubric is, like, the standard that you are expected to follow in order to earn a certain grade or, like, a certain, like, amount of points or whatever. So they have, like, a loose description of what would constitute each letter grade, for example. So, like, let's go with an A, right? Like, an A would have, pretty much perfect spelling and grammar, follows the expected, like, beginning, middle, and end format, is the right length, that sort of thing. A B would be, like, some noticeable spelling and grammar errors, but not bad. Maybe a bit shorter than anticipated. Points are a little bit less clear than an A grade. Rubrics can also be used to just, like, mark how many points you get in each category of a thing. So it could be, like, I'm trying to figure out how to word it, but, like, I mean, the joke could be, yeah, improper format for references. It could be things like, whether or not you, start properly, like, if you're able to, like, greet everyone or whatever, depending on the kind of thing that it is. But rubrics basically will accumulate all of the points together. Like, they have different point values for each thing, and then it gets all added together and gives you your grade. Not something taught back in the day? Interesting. That's weird. I can't think of a time where there weren't rubrics involved in stuff. Even when I was, like, little. My favorite is the rubric category is saved for miscellaneous, and they never explain what it's for. It's for miscellaneous. You know. The category, miscellaneous. Surely you know what miscellaneous means. Rubrics ended when I went to public school? Really? What the heck? Fascinating. That's crazy. Love that for you, though. Rubrics were definitely very stifling. Miscellaneous points for Yuno. The reason is she's very cute. Being a girl has its perks. On the topic of miscellaneous, so you don't forget, you gotta add 10 on the daily goal. Oh! You're so right. I totally forgot. Zero, thank you for the $10, putting us on the board. Yippee! Yippee! Thank you! We are beginning. September is Septembering. Let's go! I was shocked when I took college classes a few years ago. They stopped doing semesters in big chunks and started running in 8-week courses. Huh, 8 weeks? I remember 12. Huh. Fascinating. So I guess they just took out a section? Huh. When you guys were talking about Rubik's, I thought you were talking about Rubik's Cubes. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Do you remember the 2nd night of September? We're not there yet. We shouldn't be referencing that song. You have a college degree, right? You know, yes, I do. I went to Cool Egg. I had a summer semester that was 6 weeks, 3 things due every day. Aw, man, every day? Well, I guess that's how it is, though. Since the summer sessions are usually, like, shorter, they have to cram in a lot, so you have to do a lot of work. Proud of you for getting through it, though. Educated Oni. Yeah, to an extent. I feel like it wouldn't be hard to guess what I studied, like what my focus was in. Would not be a hard guess. Applied mathematics. Man, I wish I was that good at math. Rocket science. Engineering. Yeah, that's the joke. As an anime girl, I act dumber in certain things so that nobody catches on to what I studied. Pretending for content as it be. As it do. Anyone else in kawaii other than she have a master's degree? I don't think so. Smart company. Yeah, we are the smart girl company. I would agree with that. Actually trained heart surgeon and successfully done over a dozen operations. Oh, how kind of you to think that I could handle being in the same room as a visible organ. I could never. I have personally considered getting a master's degree, getting back to that topic though. Like, I've thought about it. I know what I would study if I went for it, but I've kind of been hesitating because I'm not sure. Dual major in bioengineering and business to invent a farming tactic to make bees impossible. Yes, I'm studying specifically to get rid of beans. I will figure it out. Dragging my feet just to go for this bachelor's. Hey, finish it in whatever pace you need to. Because as long as you finish it, that's what matters. There's a content creator that I watch who was literally studying for their bachelor's for, like, over a decade. And, like, only recently managed to get it, you know? So, don't feel bad for how long it takes. Just pursuing secondary education at all is like, still really impressive. So don't feel bad. I personally would have taken longer to go through my education if I had the option to. I probably would have chosen to take it a lot slower if I could have, but I could not. I didn't speed run it. I took about the average amount of time, personally, but I think with some of the things that happened in Onigashima around that time, I think that it might have been better if I had spaced things out a bit, because I was going through a lot. I was going through it. Y'all, I was going through it. So it would have been nice to have a little bit more time in between, I think. But in the end, I don't regret it. Not the Oni struggle arc. It was a rough struggle arc. So if I could have taken more time, I probably would have, but as it stood, I could not. So I did my best. Still working on my degree too, and I've had to come to terms with the pace I require to balance things in my life. Yeah, it's all good. I'm honestly always so impressed with people who are pursuing, like, secondary education alongside things like full-time jobs or raising a family or, like, other super serious obligations. Like, more power to you, honestly. Take it at your pace. You are doing so much, and you're doing everything at the pace that you need. So that's what makes it impressive, you know? It's me personally. I don't personally judge how long it takes people to get through a degree program, whether it be associates, bachelor's, or master's, you know? Or heck, even like a doctorate or a PhD. Do what you gotta do to get that degree, man. The fact that you're even, like, going for that is impressive. The fact that you were accepted is, like, a huge accomplishment. Education should be there for you to, like, take at your own pace. It should not be, something that you, I don't want to say force, that's not the right word, but, like, the obligation, I guess. Been going for a PhD for a while now? No, that's awesome! I've always kind of wondered if I could handle a PhD. This is coming from the person who's still debating getting a master's. The thing I want to get my master's in would also have an option for getting a PhD, so I've wondered. For me, I actually really like being in school environments, and that's part of why I'm thinking about it. I kind of miss the structure of having, like, a class schedule. I miss, like, the, carrying around, like, notebooks and, like, studying, and, like, I watch a lot of those, like, study vlogs or, like, things like that where they have, like, those, like, stupid aesthetic videos where they're, like, doing a bunch of really, like, pretty organized stuff, like, on their iPad or whatever. Ugh. I want that to be me so bad. I want to feel like I have my life together. But no, I love, education, like, based environments. There was a period in time where I was, like, trying to figure out if being a professional student was a thing, where I could just spend all of my life just taking classes for fun. Which, like, I guess you could, technically, if you have the, money for it, but I don't know, I just really like learning. I feel like learning is fun. It'd be better to go for a direct PhD if you can, it's a much better use of your time. Can you jump right to it? I wasn't sure. I thought you needed to get a master's first before you could get a PhD. I guess it would depend on the program, maybe. Paid actors, but for school? Literally, me. Literally, me. Considering getting my master's after a bachelor's, I feel it's easier to come back to compared to the jump from associate to bachelor's. I think that's fair. I thought you needed a master's for a PhD too. Exactly, that's why I'm like, huh? You're telling me I can skip a step? That'd be kind of sick. Well, okay, one of the programs I had been looking at, avoiding too many details, was like a dual program where you would technically qualify to get your master's while also pursuing the PhD. So, like, the way it would work would be you're technically applying for the PhD program and getting into the PhD program, but you would have, like, a heavier course load initially to get the master's within the same time while you're studying for the PhD. So it'd be, like, double booking, kind of. I guess is how they worded it. But that was something I thought about doing at a period of time, because I was, like, really... I think I've talked about this a little bit before, maybe, or if not, surprise, here's more Buno lore. But, I was kind of directionless for a long time before I got, accepted into kawaii. And there was a period where I wasn't even sure if, like, making content was going to be enough for me anymore. and I just really wanted something to, like, feel like I was more useful. I felt very useless. I felt very... how do I word this? Like, I didn't have anything else going for me, basically. And I have felt very, like, stuck in a rut in a lot of ways, and that's why I was looking into things like master degrees and PhDs, because I was like, I don't know what else to do with myself. I feel like maybe if I study and get more, like, credits to my name, then maybe I could become something more eventually. Even if it means I'd be throwing myself back into school and, like, more into, like, you know, all of the weight that comes from being affiliated with being a student in Onigashima. But it was something that I felt for a very, very, very long time. And, I didn't want to do it just because I felt like I needed to. I did want it to be something I wanted. And in a lot of ways, it still kind of is, which is why I still think about it. But, like, getting to become part of Production Kawaii really did kind of, like, open a part of me that was closed in a lot of ways. I mean, it didn't fix everything. I can't be like, Production Kawaii fixed my life, because it, you know, it didn't entirely, but it healed a lot of things, I guess. And now I feel like less of that pressure, because I feel like there's more, like, avenues, presences, I don't know how to word it. There's, like, more in my life, so it feels like less like nothing. So I'm always constantly grateful to, like, you guys, to the members of Production Kawaii, to management, all of that. Super thankful to even be here. Because if I wasn't here, I probably would have stopped making content entirely, and I would have just, like, honed in on education, and probably still would have found some, like, modicum of, like, an idea of success, but this is the thing that I think makes me the happiest, and so I'd always want to keep doing it for as long as I can. Even if I pursue a degree again, like I said, that I'm still thinking about, I think I would still want to be making content. If I could figure out the balance, that would be ideal. We will see. Because I do think it would be nice to have that, like, security of having the, like, extra degrees. Just as, like, a backup. So I don't know. Maybe. We'll see where things go. Life is still kinda a bit unpredictable in that regard, so I don't necessarily know if I could fully commit to a full program right now. But if I decide that I want to, I will do my best to figure everything out there. Instead of a dork, she could have been a nerd. Hey, I'm still a nerd. It's just that, I guess I present more dork. Because I talk less about my nerd stuff here. Well, no, Kawaii definitely did help in a stage where I felt like I had literally nothing. And I had been ready to give up. I'm glad that they took the risk on little old me. Do a PowerPoint on higher education. The importance of pursuing higher education at your own pace, whether that be within the expected period or, like, decades, I guess. The lack of glasses and buck teeth hides it, so true. Yeah, the minute I put my glasses on, you guys are just like, nerd! 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 And I'm just like, yeah, that's fair. Cute nerd. And glasses are versatile, correct? Clark Kent effect. Yeah, right now I'm Yuno Hanaki. I put on my glasses asset and I become Buno Banaki, my nerd counterpart. That is what makes the Buno Buno. Can't believe Yuno was a nerd all this time. Always has been. Man, talking about this did really make me nostalgic for being in an education environment, though. The college environment. Upper education. I'm like romanticizing it too much though. I feel like even if I decided this is what I wanted and I enrolled, I would immediately be like, guys, this sucks. Why did I do it? Why am I doing this? Ah. Nah. All that would happen, I guess, is that we would have more streams where I'm studying and you guys would have to, like, keep me company while I scream at my books. Why don't you guys stop me? School library studying with coffee. No, don't tempt me. The romanticism of studying in the school library surrounded by books and a yummy coffee is studying for the cute annotations on paper with cute, pretty colored highlighters and stationery. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's the romanticization talking. I'm not thinking about the content, I'm thinking about the aesthetic of the content. I'm not thinking about learning, I'm thinking about how pretty it would look to learn. Stream while at school? Nah, that would be my vlogger era. Hiding myself as much as possible, but I would be vlogging. I'm joking, I'm joking. The longer you're in school, the more chances you have to meet a century-old teen vampire. I don't want to meet a teen vampire. If I'm going back to school, I want to meet an adult vampire. I don't want to meet a teen one. That said, adult vampire tucks hair behind my ear. Hey. Hey. Hi. I can picture it now, the caught off guard look, tucking your hair behind your ear while you're reading a book. No! Why is it literally me? Messed up. Hanging out with classmates in the park and talking about some problem you have to solve for abstract algebra. Bold of you to assume that I'm gonna have to take a math class. I will avoid math class like the plague. I had enough math. I'll do everything I can to test out of math classes. Get me out of there. Did you get my book recommendation motto? Because the ones for Thursday did not go through. Yeah, I did! I did. I have it. I have it. I don't know why some of those mottos weren't going through at all. Very strange. One mandatory math class? Okay, well if it's just the one, I can get it out of the way in my first semester and be done with it, and I can be like, bye. It's all romantic until one thing hits you. Price. This is also true. The price of going back to school. Man. I do think that that's the one, like, deterring factor. Morrow is a cursed website. It simply chooses not to work sometimes. For real. I'm surprised so many got eaten. I got one this morning. So I know it's still, like, working. Like, people can still send stuff, but I guess a lot of things are just getting eaten, which is weird. The website's like, I eat the Morrow. It's mine now. Do you have romanticizing learning money? God, I wish. You know, team member I see. How many times must I tell you guys I'm Team Jacob? Get out of here. I was Team Jacob. I have the tote bag still in my closet. I have a tote bag with the Team Jacob big, stupid impact font with the slash through it. I am Team Jacob. Picture of it or fake? Oh god, I don't even know where it is in my closet. I know it's in there, but I don't know where specifically it is. Aren't you Team Jacob because you didn't want ever to go with Bella? No, I'm Team Jacob because I thought that his, like, long-term friendship with Bella made him a better match because he understood her better. And then I regretted it, obviously, at the end of the series, after everything that happens there, like finding out that the only reason he was attracted to her. I guess I shouldn't spoil it in case anyone actually cares about Twilight, but like, well, that made me have the ick. But no, I liked him for that reason. I liked the kind of childhood friend experience. The imprinting at the end was icky. Not just at the end, it was because it was implied that the reason he was attracted to Bella was because he was always attracted to the egg, for lack of a better term, inside of her. And like that's why he was attracted to Bella. He mistook it as attraction to Bella, but it was attraction to the... Yeah. I'm sorry to tell you this. I don't know why that ended up being the twist, but oh my god. Ew! Yeah, so he was never actually attracted to her. He was attracted to what was inside of her. Why wasn't he attracted to Edward then? Half of Renesmee was in Edward. You say that, but like... Maybe because he was a vampire and like werewolves and vampires were like repulsed by each other? Jacob fans ruined with one single moment. Yeah, that was freaky, and I hated it. It was bad. So, yeah, it really sucks to be a Jacob fan in that particular instance. It's what's on the inside that matters. Stop! Stop! Shut up! Stop! No! I hate it! I hate that. I hate it. Even if it's technically true in this instance. No. Anyway. Can you at least be proud of me that I wasn't, like, BL shipping back then? Because I feel like if I ever tried to go back and reread the Twilight series, I would probably find some sort of reason to ship Edward and Jacob, and I would just be like, there we go, conflict resolved. They don't need the stinky human girl. Congrats on not BL shipping. This is before I entered my BL shipping era. Yeah, I think Twilight was one of the last things I got into before I started shipping more BL pairings. Yeah, I think so. Because I think the thing that I got into after Twilight was Naruto. And then it was all over from there. It is what it is. Why do so many women inevitably fall into the BL shipping hole? Good question. I don't actually know if there's a specific reason. Who did you pair Shikamaru with? Well, okay. I did have several, like, het ships for a while. Well, you guys already know I never liked Shikamaru and Tamari. I literally preferred Shikamaru with, like, anybody else besides Tamari. I think my main one was Shikamaru and Hinata, because those two are my favorites. Favorite boy, ex-favorite girl, you know? Like, the logic makes sense in my brain. Also, I figured that Hinata being so quiet would make her the best match for Shikamaru anyway, because Shikamaru prefers peace and quiet. He wouldn't want to get nagged, and Hinata's not really a nagger. I think they would have had a very comfy relationship, where, like, she wouldn't really push him in any ways that he found annoying, but she would push him just enough to feel more motivated to, like, go out there and, like, actually do things. It would be very measured compared to how I felt some of the other relationships would go. Also, Shikamaru and Sakura was a pretty common one for me, too. Because I felt like Sakura's method of nagging was a little bit more understanding than, like, Tamari's. I just thought Tamari was way too annoying towards Shikamaru. So I don't understand why they became a couple. For the jump properties, because there aren't a lot of female characters and a lot of them are very flat characters. Also, if we're going back to this to the discussion of like why BL becomes prominent, I do think it's because of like jump properties having majority male casts. Also, if like you watch a sports anime, the bromances, yes, they are very obviously like friendship coded, but also sometimes they just say things that are just so romantic. like how sometimes the way they say things in these like properties is like there's a little subtext. That's just bros in general. This is true. And like I don't think there's anything wrong with just seeing it as a bromance. But I think that like sometimes the way things are worded does seem like a little bit of a subtext. You gotta get romantic with the homies from time to time. Yeah. So true. Crumbs are everywhere if you know where to look. True. Biggest brain for that purpose and that purpose specifically. I don't think I've ever fallen into Yuri because an IP is majority female. That's interesting. Have you seen Love Live fandom? Love Live fandom is literally like all Yuri shipping. I very rarely see anybody do any sort of like Yume shipping. I feel like that's a pretty strong example. It's me. I am Love Live fandom. I love this for you. KJ, thank you for the $3. Isn't the reason girls like BL obvious? It's the same as why guys like Yuri. Oh, I like chocolate bars. Oh, look, now I have 2 chocolate bars. I mean, fair. I think that's part of why I like it. I don't know. It's just for me, I feel like sometimes the chemistry just makes sense. I'm not like weird about it in the sense where I'm just like, oh, I ship the 2 guy characters together and that's obviously like canon and everything else is wrong. Like, no, I'm not like that, but I think that sometimes the dynamics just make sense. I feel like the way that some friendships are portrayed between guys in several IP, it just kind of makes sense. This Oni needs substance. Like, if I feel like it has to make sense in order for it to work as a ship. I feel like this applies to any ship, not even necessarily like boys, girls, whatever. I think as long as there's like character reason, I can understand it and I support it. I consider myself like a multi-shipper for a reason. You can usually convince me of a ship. If you're like, I think these 2 work together because of XYZ, I'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sure. But then also, if I think that a ship doesn't make sense, I will be like, you're allowed to ship that if you want to, but... Give Yuno the childhood friend BL she's fed. Any sort of childhood friend romance does get me. There's actually like a... There's like a harem anime coming out. Reverse harem, I should say. Reverse harem, because it's a girl and a bunch of her guy friends, but... There's a reverse harem coming out that's like a group of childhood friends, and I'm just like... It's like otome adjacent, and it's all childhood friends. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Literally made for me, I think. So, if I ever go through with those, like, anime, like, review recap things or whatever, you can bet I'm gonna talk about that one, and I will be going insane. Thanks. Thanks. I'm not usually into, like, harem or reverse harem, but I am intrigued just because they are all childhood friends. Give me that juicy, juicy childhood friend drama. They added the right spice for Yuno. They did. I am always weak for the childhood friend. Even if they don't win, I'm always just like, man. I'm having that issue with an anime that I'm watching this season. The childhood friend got his opportunity to be with the person that to be with his childhood friend, but I found out through spoilers that he's still not going to win. Like, he's gonna get dumped and the childhood friend is gonna go for somebody else, and I'm just like, oh, that hurts even worse than if he never got the chance to begin with. Ugh. I'm in pain. It hurts me. Yeah, he fumbles the bag on that one, but it is what it is. This is based on spoilers from the manga. I don't know if the anime's actually gotten there yet, but I kind of stopped watching the anime because it already was like losing my interest to begin with, but when I heard that the childhood friend got his opportunity but then gets like... And the worst part is that I heard in the manga they don't even give a reason for why he gets dumped. He just gets dumped. Like, they just kind of stop being a couple. The relationship just kind of dissolves naturally, which I guess is better than, like, having a tearful breakup scene, but he just gets, like, dropped in favor of this character going for a different one, and I'm just like, man. No, that's so messed up. I don't like it. I don't like it very much. That hurts way more somehow. Yeah, that's why I don't like it. Just because the childhood friend gets a chance does not mean he can win. Well, I want him to. I thought they had such a cute dynamic. Whatever. That's what fanfiction's for. I can just stay in my little corner and write all my silly little fanfic all I want, and I can pretend things are okay. That's me coping. What show is this? I don't think you guys would want to watch it. It's not necessarily a BL, but, it's like... I don't know if it would really be something that my viewers would want to watch, necessarily. If you've heard of it, though, I guess. Senpai is an otokonoko. Is what it's called. The main character is a otokonoko. But yeah, I got spoiled on the fact that it's gonna end with the childhood friends not getting together, and I was just like, man. I mean, I guess that's fine. I understand it. Like, I've seen where the chemistry is building between the other two characters, like, in the love V. Because it's not a triangle, it's a V. It could be a triangle, but it's a V. But I've heard that it just, like, really randomly switches. Like, it goes from the main character, like, being willing to stay in that relationship to suddenly being like, oh, actually, I have feelings for the other person. And I was only with you because I didn't want to ruin our friendship. Never heard of a love V? I call it a love V because a triangle is a closed shape and implies that there would be some sort of attraction between the two other characters, you know? A love triangle would be a closed shape between all three of them. But since it's not, and the two competing love interests do not have feelings for each other, but just have feelings for the same person, it is a V. It'd have to be even-sided to be closed. Yeah, exactly. You get it. You get me. So I've always just called it a V, because I feel like that is more accurate to what it actually is. Technically, more colloquially, people refer to it as a love triangle, so sometimes I still use love triangle so people just know what I'm talking about, but it's a love V. And this is a hill that I will die on. Maybe that would be what my PowerPoint is on. It's not a love triangle, it's a love V. Could be an interesting argument. Me with my insane shipping wall. The love tetrahedron. Don't get me started on the Homestuck quadrants. We'll be here for a long time. There's this one anime where the whole show led up to a setup confession and the actual stupidest, dumbest thing possible happens and they just don't confess and end the show there. Are you talking about Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun? Because that sounds very similar to Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun. Would definitely love to hear a coherent argument over that. Whoopee! The love hashtag. I forgot that's how it ended. Must have repressed it. No, I'm talking about the anime. I don't think the manga actually ended. yet, as far as I know, but I haven't really read the manga. I've been meaning to, but I haven't actually read the manga. This one was called Hanamaru Kindergarten? Let me look it up. Hanamaru Kindergarten. If we want to talk about, like, anime with a lot of, like, different romance tropes, I cannot recommend Sudezure Children enough. If you have not watched Sudezure Children, you definitely should, because it's, like, a bunch of characters at the same high school, and there's just a bunch of different romance dynamics between all of them. Like, we've got the childhood friends, we've got the rivals, we've got the, like, student council president, and, like, the slacker. Like, they have, like, a bunch of really, really good, portrayals of tropes. A flavor for every taste. And it's good. So if you want an anime that has a bunch of, like, cute confessions and, like, cute couple-y shenanigans, Sudezure Children, it needs a season 2, though. I love the comedy duo. Yeah, they're so cute. I liked them all so much. Hanamaru Kindergarten. According to the wiki, it implies that they get... or that there's a confession. Maybe the anime just didn't end with that? Oh yeah, okay. So the anime doesn't end with it. But it looks like, according to the manga, they do get together. So if you want a conclusion for them, it looks like you have to read the manga. Thank goodness. Anyone caught up with My Dress Up Darling? I didn't really like My Dress Up Darling. I think I only watched 2 episodes of it, but then it ended up not really being my thing. I don't remember what specifically made me drop it. But I didn't quite vibe with it. What? I guess that's shocking, but no, I didn't like it. I don't know. I can't remember the specific reason. There was a recent development that made it worth it? Really? I see. A good payoff or something? I'll have to keep that in mind. But yeah, no, that one never really... It didn't click. Like, I tried watching it. I think I either watched 2 or 3 episodes. But, like, I couldn't... I wasn't hooked. I didn't vibe. I was just like, eh. I think I didn't like the... I didn't like the main character. Like, I thought the girl was cute, but I wasn't really vibing with the main character very much. And for me, like, especially if it's a romance anime, I have to like both the leads a like, decent amount in order to keep watching a romance anime. And since I couldn't really vibe with him, I was just like, well, it was worth a try. It gets better, like, way better. Understandable. Maybe someday I will give it another try. Like, if the anime ever finishes, like, adapting the manga, maybe I will try it again, but... It was not my vibe, personally. But that's okay. Can't like everything. Least favorite anime, 23.9 episodes, the childhood friend was winning, then in the last 5 minutes the dude switches to his... Oh my... His cousin! Ugh. I can't, dude. I can't. Man. Not the Alabama. Not the Alabama accusations. No. I can't do it, dude. I'm not strong enough. It's okay. There's other, like, anime that pull a similar thing. Have you guys ever heard of the series Brothers Conflict? Oh, Brothers Conflict. You are so shaking my dang head. Otome are not free from that sort of trope either, is all I will say, basically. Anyways. I should probably wrap up here in a little bit. I was planning to raid Hiyori Mokami's cover, and that is premiering in a few minutes. Shuffle gave me childhood friends PTSD. Oh my god, Shuffle. No, you just awoke a memory in me about Shuffle. Oh my god. Ah, Shuffle. Fun chat and insight, thank you! But yeah, I'm raiding into Hiyori Mokami's cover of Stellar, fellow cover of Hoshimachi Suisei. I got a preview of it last night as part of my Tier 5 exclusive privilege. She did really good, so I want to read it so you guys can support it. Oh my god, can I learn how to spell? Oh my god. Can I even rate it? Yes, I can. There we go. I had to look up Hiyori Mokami, because apparently when you look up Stellar, it doesn't friggin' work. That's crazy. Tier 5 Hiyori Mokami sub? Obviously. How'd you get that exclusive access? By being cute and by being, her senpai, and also, technically it was Koha who asked first. Koha asked first if we could get a leak, and then I piggybacked and I was like, leak please? And she was like, fine. She admitted it, clip it. No! You're gonna take me out of context! Stop! I hate this. Anyway. So tomorrow we're gonna be playing, at Day, which is a game about being a painter in Montreal. This is a game that we saw during Wholesome Direct that had that, like, really pretty, like, painterly aesthetic. I'm curious to see how the game's actually going to play. We're gonna do that tomorrow. Wednesday we'll be starting Necrobarista. That'll be our, like, cozy early morning... I call it, like, visual novel reading, but it's kind of just, like... I don't know if I would necessarily call it that. Maybe it's more like a kinetic visual novel. Something like that. Yeah. That's what to expect for the next couple of days, because if I go over the rest of my schedule, I will definitely run late for this raid. So, we're gonna raid Hiyori's premiere now. Thank you guys so much for choosing to spend time with me. I hope that you have a good rest of your time zone, and until I see you again, Yunotsu!